Hi there, it's Laura from Laura Wamwell Photography, and joining me today is Jett Jackson, owner of Doggy Dates and co-founder of the Don't You Want Me project. Hi Jett, I'm so excited to be chatting with you today.
Likewise, Laura, I've long been a fan of your work.
And I of yours. So I would love to know, Jett, how did you get into pet photography?
It kind of started by accident, I would say. I used to work in, I don't know why I did it. I used to work in offshore finance for 20 years. And then I ended up coming to Toronto kind of unplanned. Anyway, I ended up in Toronto and I couldn't work. I didn't have a PR card. And I was at the dog park all the time with my dog, and I just started taking my camera. And I kind of got obsessed. And then, really loved it, and took getting frustrated just being on automatic mode. So took a few courses. Really, that's how it started. And then I started a dog walking company. And it just, I don't do it now, but I would take my camera to the dog park, and I would have 100 photos to go through in the evening. So it just kind of started out like that, and then I got, as I improved and as I learned about Lightroom and Photoshop, then I got into dog photography properly.
So for folks who haven't heard of Doggy Dates before, I'd love to know a little bit more about how your business is set up. So is it dog walking plus dog photography? Are they two separate entities? How does it work?
Well, so it was both. And then 2 weeks ago, I had to stop. I've just stopped the dog walking temporarily for now, for a 6-month period. I had a surgery, and I was just struggling to kind of. I went back after the surgery, but it was just it's quite hard handling 6 dogs with just one hand. So I'm focusing now on the photography. So to answer your question, it is just the dog photography and the project work I'm focusing on. And I was really finding the 3 kind of jobs, it was just too much. So something had to give.
So within the dog photography that you're doing right now, do you have a favorite part of your job? What's the best thing about doing it?
I love all of it. I love it. And I don't know about you, but I just feel so lucky that I get to do work that I enjoy. I mean, like we were speaking a little bit earlier, I do love the editing, I love going through, seeing all of the, picking out my favorite images. I love the editing process. I would like to learn, there's always more that you can learn. I think that's the beauty. I just love all of it. If on a photo shoot, it just goes by in like a 3-hour session will just go by in like 5 minutes,
Is there something that you wish that the general public knew about pet photography? Because I feel like, family photos have been around for a while, and children's photography and whatnot, but pet photography, I feel like now is really starting to pick up speed. So if you could say something to the pet parents out there, what would you tell them about pet photography?
It's not as easy as it looks on Instagram. Oh, I think I think maybe just people might think pet photographer like that is not even a real job, but I would say it is. I would say it's almost harder than portrait. At least you can tell a person how to stand, or and for ours it's very much about animal behavior and getting a dog to do a certain thing. And with some dogs that's very easy. With others, maybe not so much. And certainly with the kind of photography that I do, if a dog can't like stay still for 5 seconds, it's quite hard for me to achieve those looks. Yeah, I can put them on a leash and stuff, but in short, the answer is it's not as easy. It's not as easy as it looks. And not only that, but I guess everyone's set up differently, but I have an assistant, I have a proper strobe, and so people might wonder why my prices are what they are, but they're only the same as what another photographer, like a portrait photographer, would charge for a 2-hour session. So probably those two things. But I don't know about other people's jobs, so it's just kind of gentle education, and bringing that into my I'll have a Zoom session with everyone with the client before my shoot. So, I can kind of bring it in there or.
Yeah, so getting a sense of what your client wants in advance so that you're coming into the session ready to really help that dog shine.
Yeah, and managing expectations to a certain extent as well, just saying, it's dog photography. At the end of the day, dogs will do what they want to do, and we will try. And I have all of these little tricks, and but we will go at the dog's pace. And if the dog needs a break, then we'll take a break. If it's not working, then we're not going to make the dog uncomfortable just to get a shot that that makes us happy.
Speaking of shots that make us happy, there are some incredible shots in your portfolio, including the one that I can see right behind your head with that dog jumping up in the air. I would love to know how do you achieve your style? How does that come about?
Okay, so that one,
Yes.
that's a bit of an older shot, to be honest. But with that dog, we end up with the final image, but that was probably about 50 jumps, and like that was it was a trick. It knows a lot of tricks, so the owner was just really doing that on repeat. I'm at a certain angle, trying to it's just doing things, just trying to capture the dog in exactly the right position. It just takes time, and we just keep trying, really. Yeah, and then just in terms, there is nothing I love more than a happy dog. So I'll always try and incorporate some running shots in where the dog's really excited, and try and really mix up what I end up giving to the clients. I love happy dogs. I just love it. I just as an aside, I just set up a gift card on my website today, and I put 10 photos, and every single one made me smile. Every single, dogs are they're just so perfect, and they make me so happy, and their owners, I'm sure.
Well, and I think when folks are considering pet photography or booking a pet photography session, sometimes owners will, have these notions of what they want and how the dog, is supposed to behave. And I think just really helping people to realize that dogs are going to be dogs. Dogs are going to want to go have fun, be themselves. And as photographers, like that's all we ever want, is the dogs to be safe and to have a fantastic time.
For sure. And that's why I said before, it's about managing their expectations. They might see one image of a dog flying through the air, but if I'm not if their dog can't do that, and not all dogs, they've all got different personality and different instincts. So I just say that we will try and work to their to their favor, you know, and just bring out the best in their dog. And that's really all we can do.
In addition to meeting with clients and doing client photography work, I know that you are involved in some really special projects that are close to your heart. So you are the founder of the Don't You Want Me project. What can you tell us about that?
So I'm the co-founder with my project partner is she's based in Brighton in the UK. So the project is just about we're kind of elevating the stories and lives of queer and trans people with their rescue dogs. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would kind of describe it as it's like Humans of New York, except for queer and trans people and rescue dogs. You know, so we've got, there's the photo element, obviously, but then there's also the narrative part, of the project, which we've found has really become, even though it's a photo project, more important than the photo, because it's, you know, I guess these people are telling a story about how their rescue dogs have changed their life.
That's amazing. I would love to dig into a couple of these photos if you don't mind.
Sure.
Jack, this is one of my absolute favorite images. What can you tell me about this dog and their human?
So Stella is my barber, and she is someone that is as obsessed with her dog as I am with mine. And I haven't found many people that are as crazy about their dog as I am. And Stella is. So Stella is my barber. This is Jada, her dog. The dog is totally comfortable there. So the dog used to go to work with Stella all of the time. And I was just talking to her, asking her, you know, I just said, look, I was talking about the project, and I said, listen, like, do you want to be involved? And, you know, then we were just talking about what we would do for the image. And, you know, Jada she's just so used to being at the barbershop. That's like a home to her. And I just thought it'd be hilarious with her on the barber chair. And I couldn't believe, you know what dogs are like, you know, I didn't think we would get that image. I didn't think that Jada would stay there, but she did. I wanted to turn the hairdryer on and actually get her ear going back, but that was probably pushing it a little bit too much. But yeah, Stella is amazing. You know, she, since I've known her, which I guess it's about 4 years, she stopped drinking. She's in a much happier place. And in part, you know, it's because of having Jada in her life. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I think it's so incredible that you're able to highlight how, as much as when we rescue a pet, they rescue us too.
For sure. That's what the well, it's not what the whole project is about. But you know, there's obvious similarities between rescue dogs who you know, maybe don't have anyone and may become fearful or whatever, may have some issues because, you know, and maybe let's just say some trans kid that's been thrown out of home, you know, it's going to affect them. And, you know, really the whole project is about kind of showing people that, you know, when animals have everything that they need to thrive, then they do, and they can completely transform. You know, they can be a terrified dog, like shaking in the corner, too scared to do anything, to becoming a well-adjusted, happy animal. And it's really the same with people. You know, maybe they're not shaking in the corner, but maybe they use other coping mechanisms or whatever. And you know, I guess some part of the project is also about looking at reasons why some queer and trans people could end up in these positions, and it's not because they're queer or trans, it's because of the discrimination that they face. Yeah, that's so it touches on those issues as well, as well as being, you know, a very positive, like inspiring stories to help maybe younger people. And then there's the, you know, there's the other side of it, which maybe helps a more mainstream audience understand things a little better.
So I know within the Don't You Want Me project, there are a few exciting things happening. So if folks wanted to get involved, either as supporters or if someone wanted to reach out to tell their own story, how do they do that?
Just via the website. There's a form on the website, in either donate or sit for a session, and then it really all flows from there. It's a little bit of a process to take part in the project, just, you know, just because of the kind of the storytelling aspect, really. If they wanted to take part, so all, you know, the criteria for taking part, you just have to be part of the LGBTQ community and have a story of transformation. And it doesn't need to be around mental health. It could be another story entirely. You know, maybe you are in a job that you didn't really love, you got your rescue dog, then all of a sudden you just thought, no, I need to change things up. I want to work from home with my, or whatever. And it's, you know, it's a story of like a life-changing event, just a story of transformation as a result, excuse me, of the rescue dog.
Wonderful. And so I understand that this project has grown over time, and that recently you've had sort of some exciting new things happening. What can you tell me about that?
So yeah, we had, I still can't believe it, really. We had, so Pet Value approached us in May time, so April or May, and they came on board, you know, to do something for Pride for us, which was great. And they produced a video using some of the participants from the project, which was, that was lovely. They also donated actually $10,000 to our rescue grant fund. But the news that's going to be coming out on Monday is that they are funding a cross-Canada tour of the project. So I'm going to be visiting, the first stop is Barrie, I believe, and then Halifax, I think, for Trans Day of Visibility, Winnipeg, Vancouver, Calgary, and it's going to end in Toronto in May, June for Pride. So super exciting. So, and what myself and Deb always wanted to do, excuse me, was, you know, we wanted to visit other cities. To, you know, there's only so many stories that we can tell in Toronto, and she's in Brighton. You know, there's only so many people. And we did try to do some FaceTime photo shoot sessions. But I think for this kind of project, you really need to be in person. You know, you need to be with them doing that session, I think. So super excited. I can't wait.
Jack, that's amazing. That is such a phenomenal opportunity. And the passion that you have for this work is, it just, you exude it. So it's so amazing that it's being recognized and that you're going to get to share this project with people all over Canada.
Yeah, it feels like just the beginning, to be honest, Laura. I do. It was always the intention that we would turn this into a book, and that we would, visit lots of cities and tell lots of stories. And it's not about visiting the cities. It's about the awareness that can come from this. I always say that this project is, it's dedicated to all the people that didn't make it. And I think for anyone, no one really likes to hear this, but the attempted suicide rate is about 43% for trans people. And in some of these stories, you see how hard someone has had things, what they've gone through, and even myself, what I went through. It was the worst time of my life, and I'm older. I had life experience, and I had the support of my dad. Some of these people, they're young. I have no idea how they have survived, and that is what the project is for. It's for raising awareness of these issues that affect queer and trans people. So that's kind of why I love the project. I love it so much. I get to meet community and rescue dogs and do a job that I love. I love every part of it. I love working on the narratives with people. I love bringing the stories out. But it's meeting these people and allowing this project to have some impact. That's why I do it. I'm driven. Like I wouldn't. We have worked so long and so hard on this project. Obviously there's been no money-making element from it. And that's why we do it. That's why we do it. It's very. I live this project.
So wonderful and so important. So I cannot wait to keep watching your journey with this and see where it takes you. Before we end off today, I would love to learn a little bit more about you, as I'm sure the folks watching would. So obviously, I'd like to talk about your pets. So who lives with you currently?
So this is my dog. She is the love of my life. I am obsessed. I'm really obsessed. So her name is Jett Jackson. She is nearly 5. I've got 7 tattoos of her on my body, and if it hadn't been for COVID, I think I'd have a few more. She is, she's a typical boxer. She's completely crazy. She's a clown. She makes me laugh every single day. She is an absolute sweetheart. And I couldn't have got through the time in my life 4.5 years ago without her. And I couldn't have got through COVID without her. I don't know how, I know that the pandemic has affected people differently, but, as a single person, I just don't know how people did it. So, yeah, she's my world.
And what are some of your favorite things to do with Jett?
Honestly, we're just walking in the trails. Really, I love that. Really, anything that gives Jett the zoomies and it is a good thing for me. I just love her. Love watching her having the zoomies.
It's absolutely the best when they get the zoomies.
Laura, it's really bad. You ask what my favorite thing to do with her is, and I actually just do everything with her. So I only actually leave my dog when I go to the gym every day, but when I do a photo shoot I've got a photo shoot tomorrow morning. And so I normally would leave her, about 3 mornings a week. But aside from that, I do everything with her. She comes to the supermarket, and during COVID, I actually took her to the gym.
That sounds like the best life.
Yeah.
So before we end, I have some rapid fire questions for you. Are you up for it?
Go for it.
Alrighty. Off the top of your head, cat or dog?
Dog.
Favorite breed?
Boxer. No, a boxer. No, can I have 2?
Yes.
Boxer and pit bull.
Yes, nice. What is Jett's favorite treat?
She's got a thing right now for duck necks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Is Jett full of beans, full of dreams, or full of something entirely different?
She's full of both of those things, and she's also full of farts because she's a boxer.
Yes, of course. If Jett were to be played by a human actor in a movie, who would play Jett?
Someone with lots of energy. Maybe someone like, do you know Eddie Izzard?
Yes, that's an amazing answer. I love
lots of energy, but then going off on different tacks all the time.
Yes, excellent answer. And the last one, if money and time were no object, what is one amazing thing that you would love to do with Jett?
I would actually love to. I can't take her on the Canadian tour with Pet Value, but I would love to do, like maybe a West Coast, like America trip with Jett. Just a massive trip, where we're just. I mean, it would be very similar to what we do now, and we're together constantly. But just to be exploring kind of like different areas, like I'd love to do I've already done the West Coast of America once, but I'd love to like do it with her.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Jack, it has been such a pleasure to chat with you today. Before we end off, I would love to know, how can the Southwestern Ontario pet community best support you and your business and your projects?
That's a really kind question. Really, so, any kind of publicity that we get around the project, even just sharing that would be wonderful, just so that the more people that know about the project, then we can have more people take part. That would be really nice. And then just one thing on the project, actually, Laura. As of right now, we have one grant recipient. So we've given someone a rescue dog, someone from the LGBTQ community. It's actually a refugee trans woman. She has a rescue dog from Save Our Scruff, and then other partners are supporting her. Going forward, we're going to change the structure of that a little bit, and we're going to be supporting numerous people, but in a different way, like not with a rescue dog. And I just mentioned that because that is also very much a part of the Don't You Want Me project. Very much giving back. It's not just about, oh, I'm a photographer and I want to do a passion project. And, it's about actually helping these people in the community that being vulnerable and sharing their stories.
And so if folks who are listening wanted to contribute to that grant fund, are they able to donate?
They are, yeah. There's a donate button on the website. Yes, there is.
Perfect. I will make sure that we have all of those links right here in this interview.
You're great.
Jack, it has been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the pet parents out there?
I think the dog said it all. But no, listen, thank you for your time, Laura. Thank you for reaching out. And
just like, that's it, we're done now.
But yeah, time to go. But listen, seriously, thanks for reaching out. And you know, I'm glad. That's it. We're done.
Well, thanks, Jack. It's been a pleasure. This is Laura from Laura Walmwell Photography. Joining me today is Jett Jackson of Doggy Dates and the Don't You Want Me project. And we both hope, along with Jett, that you and your pets have an awesome day. Bye.
Thanks so much, Laura. See you.
See ya.